Hi everyone, this is Ismail here with another video, and the discussion today is really about where do the arts fall in public education today and how are they treated or revered, if at all. One of the things that I've been pondering a lot about, and I think this goes for a lot of art teachers in the world today, is how the arts in general, like the visual arts, dance, music, theater, are categorized. And usually, because of public education, sometimes they're categorized as an academic discipline, but they're not. They fall under the term of humanities. And the humanities can be described as the study of how people process and document human expression. That's what it is. It's about human expression. And so it doesn't fall within the same confines as, let's say, the sciences, which are usually science, mathematics, even some forms of English in terms of like literature, ELA, even though literature in terms of poetry, creative writing, those sort of things really fall under the humanities part. When it comes to writing, reading and writing, it's kind of split because there is an academic form of writing, and then there's the creative form, literature form of writing, like novels, storytelling, so on and so forth. So why is this important, and why, as a visual artist, if you don't already notice, why is this something that should be discussed or even thought of? It's because usually in public school settings, the arts have been kind of put through this box of academic practice. For instance, many of you may already be doing this, which is, you're taught in schools today, in universities and in colleges today, that you need to now implement rubrics. You need to have writing within the lesson. There has to be some form of proof that something is going on in the mind of the student who is taking art in your class. You have to now have lesson plans that are very structured. They have to have a certain type of vocabulary and terminology, etc., etc., etc. The arts traditionally have never been taught this way, and still aren't. You go to a real art school, and when I say art school, I'm talking about a school where they take art seriously. You're not going to find people pondering on their rubric or a set of standards, so to speak. Now, that doesn't mean that isn't important. Now, I'm not trying to say that's not important. What I'm trying to say, it's very different than what you would really find in a professional art school that takes art very seriously, and that goes for all the different forms of the humanities, including dance, music, this idea that somehow you have to kind of put the arts through a ringer to prove that an art teacher, or of any type of art teacher, any visual arts teacher, or any music teacher, so on and so forth, has to somehow learn how to make academic practices or wove them into their lesson, can be very challenging and very difficult. I have met art teachers who have left teaching public schools because they just got tired of the constant push to have rubrics for every lesson and have some type of writing exercise of some form, even if it's a simple reflection thing or whatever. Now, this is not to put down everything that public schools have done in terms of making the arts kind of academic, or if not the leaders or whoever's making these decisions. But the fact is, the arts should be a free, expressive form that allows students, or a form of education that allows students to find a voice. And this can be extremely challenging in the world we live today, especially with the fact that everybody seems, even parents they get caught into this kind of idea, oh well, my child needs to have an essay done for a visual arts class, and I want him to have a passing grade, and it's like, I teach visual arts, I'm not an ELA teacher, I'm not an English teacher, you know what I mean? So it gets into this kind of like a muddy type of thing where the arts no longer become a form of expression, but become more of academic exercise, and it is not academic, and it shouldn't be treated as an academic practice. Many principals, many administrators who really don't know the arts have a tendency to treat art teachers the same as everybody else, but we're not the same. We're a completely different breed of teacher. We are dealing with self and human expression. And that really falls under a different category of teaching, which is the humanities. And we don't always need, me personally, I don't always need a written statement, so to speak, that a child is learning or understanding something, when I could see it from their work and my personal discussions with that student. But sadly, this is what a lot of art teachers, especially in the big cities, I would say like in New York, Los Angeles, you know, across the country, have gotten into this. And you know, people justify it, and sometimes it's really, you as an art teacher, especially if you're an artist who is a teacher, you know, real artist who came into the profession wanting to change lives and wanting to do art, and then you're told, well, you need to have rubrics for every lesson, you need to have written exercises of some kind that reflect a child's thinking. Now, I'm not for or against. I think I tend to be more for there should be more art in the classroom over all this writing, because that's not what art is about. Unless I'm teaching literature, and then yeah, poetry, you know, creative writing, absolutely. But as a visual arts teacher, it's about the work, it's about handling materials, it's about finding a voice within all of that to help a student find a new way to communicate to the world they live in. So that's my take for it today. I mean, like I said, you may have some great points. I would love to hear what your comments are. So please write the comments down below, and I would respond to them. And remember, as always, with this channel, and it's constantly improving. I'm trying to improve it as much as I can. We're really putting videos that have some really interesting discussions and topics for you. But also, I'm hoping that we will be revamping my little studio here, so it can even be more interesting in terms of the topic that deal with the topics that deal with art education. And as always, please subscribe to this channel. The more subscribers, the more videos I could put out there. It encourages me, motivates me to find interesting topics like this. And also, if you'd like to sponsor this channel on Patreon, please do. You know, any little thing can help, okay? So you have a great day. Keep doing art. And take care, and I'll see you next time.